Hi book friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Read. It's Saturday afternoon, it is almost 3 o'clock. I worked from 8 to 1 today and I'm in that really annoying feeling where I'm exhausted but I'm not sleepy. I've tried to take a nap on the couch, it's just not happening. I was at a party until like midnight or something last night, which is like midnight is truly the middle of the night for me. I'm typically asleep like 8:39, and so yeah, that was a big stretch for me. Had some alcohol. I basically just feel like an old lady today. I didn't wake up hungover, like I didn't have a headache, I didn't get sick last night, anything like that. I just feel old and achy today. I was training people at the gym, and even just like bending down to pick up a weight and move things, just everything felt heavy. It wasn't even my workout, just my back and my joints just feel achy. So I'm not 22 anymore, that's for sure. So anyhow, I figure I can't sleep, I just feel tired, I don't want to do anything, so I should read. And so I'm taking a bit of a deviation from Shorty September, and I just picked up and have started Carrie Soto is Back. My mom's calling. Hang on. Well, I don't have very much time left. That was my mom. She's coming. The kids are spending the night, and they are going to be here soon. They have to stop off at the store soon. So I'm going to start with Carrie Soto is Back. But what this is, Carrie Soto is a retired, she's the greatest female, or I think greatest tennis player ever. Fake character. We know Serena is the greatest of all time. So she's retired, and the book starts with she's at this match with her dad, watching this young woman about to pass up her Grand Slam total. I think Carrie had 20 Grand Slam wins, and this girl just either got to 20, tied her, or just passed her up at 21. One of the two. And so basically during the course of this match and this conversation with her dad, she decides she's coming out of retirement. She's not going to stand for being passed up. And now we're getting in a bit of back history of her family, of her dad, who was a tennis pro himself. Her mom was a dancer. And so she's kind of, in his mind, destined to be the greatest tennis player of all time. And apparently she grew up to live out that destiny. And now she wants to reclaim her title as the greatest tennis player ever. So I'm going to read for as long as I can until the kids get here. I love them. I'm so tired. Hopefully this goes well. I'm only on page 34, but I'm loving this. I love the relationship between Carrie and her dad. He's her coach, and he's so good. He had just put her up to play. She's 11 years old, and she plays, I think, a 14-year-old girl, and she loses, but she did an amazing job playing him up against this much older girl, and she's just completely down on herself, thinks that she hates tennis, she's a loser now because she's lost this one match. And he goes and he's asking her, have you ever done this before? No. Have you ever done this before? No. Have you ever done this before? No. All these great things she did today. She makes kind of a negative response. So he's just encouraging her. He tells her, you played the best you've ever played in your life today. You're not yet who you will one day be. Every match you play, you are one match closer to becoming the greatest tennis player the world has ever seen. You were not born that person. You were born to become that person. And that is why you must best yourself every time you get on the court. I'm loving this so much. The coaching relationship, the father-daughter relationship, just the tennis in and of itself. I love tennis. I picked this up because I saw Emma from Reading by My Shelf read this on vacation, and a bunch of members of her family read it as well. Not tennis fans, and they're super into it, and like reading this book made them want to learn about tennis, watch tennis, play tennis, all of that. I already love tennis, so yeah, I'm just soaking this up, and I'm going to stop talking so I can get back to reading it. How was our night?
It was good.
Yeah?
Are we telling a video to our friends?
Yeah.
Our friends. Who's your friends, Boo? Do you even have any friends?
No.
Sad.
Those are not our friends.
How about our booktube friends?
Hey, you guys.
We have a lot of friends.
Yeah. So where'd you sleep last night?
I slept in TT's bed.
Yeah? Was it a good sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what did you dream about?
A pink car.
Mm-hmm. But Mom had a pink car?
Mm-hmm.
But you're sad?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you sad?
Because she doesn't have a pink car.
Not in real life. Just a silly old silver car.
Yeah.
What are we going to do today?
We're gonna go to Letterby.
What do we get at Leatherby's?
Ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, why are we going there?
Because everyone's celebrating my birthday.
Yay! Excited?
Did they say yay?
I did. Yay! Oh, can you tell us? They knew that you're going to Disneyland. Tell us how Disneyland was.
My Disneyland was great.
Did you have a favorite ride?
Yes, I did. I did up and down one first. Not this time.
The train one?
I did the train one.
Thunder Mountain?
Yeah.
And then we look at the goat?
Yeah, and we say stare at the goat because
Just because it's a thing?
it has claws.
Okay. Did
Okay.
you like the Star Wars ride?
And the Star Wars and Kiki, can we not put the video on?
Sure. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends. We're gonna tell it later. But she's accidentally scratched green. Scratched me.
You just took your blanket off.
Yeah.
Are you hiding his toy?
No.
You bite your toes.
That is a funny video. This is a funnier video than I thought it would be.
Got it.
Yay, Stevie.
He knew it.
You're giving it to me? Oh, thank you. Oh, now you're going to take it away.
It feels like it is properly fall. The leaves have only just started to change. You can see in that tree a little bit, but it is foggy. It has been rainy, which we really need with the fires and just drought. It's California, we need rain, but it feels so good. And all I want to do is read today, but of course I have to work. So, little check-in here. I am approaching halfway through the book. So today is Tuesday, and it is kind of a marathon day. I had a client from 8 to 8:30, weird like 2-hour break. I had a client at 10:30 and then a class at 11. And now I'm in this kind of weird dead time until kind of chunk 2 of the day starts. I'm about to have 4 phone calls, I think, between 1 and like 3:30. And then, yeah. And then I'm back to the gym from 4 to 7. So I have about a 20-minute window here where I plan to read more of Carrie Soto is Back. And where I am in the book right now, she is gearing up to re-enter, my goodness, dogs. She's gearing up to re-enter this next tennis season of Grand Slams, starting with the Australian Open. And because she is such a kind of prickly person, her nickname is the Battle Axe, which is kind of code name for another B word. She has had a hard time finding hitting partners. And so now, in order to go from like being off for 5 years to actually being back and competing in a meaningful way against, you know, kind of today's youth in tennis, she needs to have some a serious hitting partner, someone who can really kind of like iron sharpens iron. And so this male kind of older tennis player has become her hitting partner, and they have helped each other improve their games. I'm wondering if there might be a romance. I keep doing this with my hands. I'm wondering if there might be a romance that comes out of this right now. It could be. We're about to start. The next chapter is the night before the Australian Open. And so I'm going to get to reading this for about 15-20 minutes before my phone calls start. But yeah, I wanted to read this little section. Every now and then, kind of in between chapters, there will be an excerpt from an editorial or a TV show, something like that, where they're talking about her. And so this is a female letter from the editor. Or a letter from the editor, the woman, it's a woman writing. She's talking about, she had experienced this time when she was a kid, when her mom tells her, basically, she's like 11, it's no longer appropriate for her to be wrestling in the backyard with her brothers. It's time for her to come help mom in the kitchen. And so she's now talking about Carrie Soto's comeback, and she says, some men's childhoods are permitted to last forever, but women are so often reminded that there is work to be done. And yet here is Carrie Soto daring to play. I felt the sense of thrill at her announcement last month, and it's not just me. So many of my friends seem to agree. Carrie Soto is living the dream for all of us, coming back for one last go around the block. And then she kind of finishes by, we know that Carrie Soto is likely not going to win a single title next year, and it would perhaps behoove her to admit it now and spare us all the embarrassment of having to pretend otherwise. One cannot deny the toll age takes on the athlete's body, no matter how unjust. She'll be a shadow of the dominant battle axe we knew in the 80s, but that is far from the point. It is her right to have fun, to keep playing, to not help with dinner. And I, for one, am glad she's exercising it. So it's now Friday around noon, and I finished Carrie Soto is Back last night. I absolutely loved it. I was so wrapped up in her tennis matches and her quest to take back her record as a Grand Slam champion of all times, greatest Grand Slam champion of all times. I was so wrapped up in that and so like living in that world that I kept expecting to see tennis on ESPN when I was at the gym. So I literally like multiple times was like, hey, why isn't tennis on? Why isn't Wimbledon on? So I think that's something that Taylor Jenkins Reid does really well, is just get you really wrapped up into the setting and the emotions of the story. So love that. Loved there's kind of a slow burn, very organic relationship, and that's what it really is. It's a relationship. It's not like a petty romance. There's a relationship. And then also just love the relationship, the complicated nuanced relationship between Carrie and her dad. So I just wanted to bring up the topic of the own voices, or the lack of own voices representation. The fact that Taylor Jenkins Reid is a white woman and she's writing about a Hispanic character, yet again, just like Evelyn Hugo. And personally, I feel like we can't have it both ways. We can't both ask for diversity, ask for more diverse characters in literature being represented, but only allow that from own voices. Yes, we want people of color. We want diversity in publishing as far as who it is that is allowed to be published or is privileged enough to be published. But I think it's okay for one type of person to write about multiple different types of people. The only problem that I have with the Hispanic representation as a Hispanic person myself is the fact that I am Hispanic, but I am not Spanish speaking. And it's really confusing when you have non-translated Spanish, like full-on sentences sometimes, and sometimes a back and forth conversation in Spanish not being translated. That was the only problem that I have with this. So I'm curious, you know, does it bother you if a white person writes about a person of color? Does it bother you if a person of color writes about white people as their main characters? What does it mean to have diversity in literature if we can't write about diverse characters in one work of literature? So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on that. Curious to know your thoughts as well. Does it bother you? Are you for it? That's all I have to say on that. I'm enjoying a beautiful walk by the water right now while I have some time off. Thank you for watching. See you on the tubes.